Hi, everyone. It's A Ticket to Christ. Thank you for tuning back in. We are talking about growing in patience, just the importance of it. It's really key in our spiritual walk. It enables us to let our light shine. It brings good witness and testimony to the Lord. And it's a sign of love. You know, when you're patient with someone, that's really what you're doing. You're loving them. And what we're looking at today, though, maybe some of the underlying reasons why people are impatient. And one scripture I think is punchy is Proverbs 14, verse 29. It says, "He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly." And so someone who's slow to wrath is someone who's patient, that they're not quick-tempered and triggered, easily triggered. And people who are quick-tempered and easily triggered, like you're trying to have a conversation, you accidentally step on a landmine or some kind of an issue they might have had from their childhood, from their past, from some kind of a situation. And it could suddenly go hard quickly. And they become impatient, they cut you off, don't allow you to finish what you're trying to say or explain, think they know what you mean, or they just stop up their ears, they don't want to hear. And a lot of times, again, that comes from underlying pain or bad experiences that person is having that you stepped in. And so they're filled with this fear, this fear of that this is what you're doing, or this is the situation they're finding themselves in. And so they react and lash out. So that is one reason why I find that people are not patient. And I think that if this is you, that you're quick-tempered, that you have a short fuse, that you get impatient easily with people, you have a low tolerance. You can't even wait for someone to finish saying something because your spirit can't hold it. You can't hold a conversation with someone whereby the person is taking their time to get out what they need to say. All of those things come from a lack of love, but it also comes from a lack of maturity, if that's you, right? A lack of empathy and mercy. But also, if you're quick-tempered and easily triggered, the underlying thing that you need to look at is, why are you afraid? Why is it that you're self-focused? Why is it that you need to be the most important person in that conversation? And if you're able to bring that to the Lord, if you have a heart for the Lord, and the Lord is first in your life, be able to bring it to the Lord and say, "Lord, look, I am struggling with impatience here," and be real and honest with the Lord in prayer, asking him to lift those fears, to heal you. Maybe sometimes some people might even have to fast, right? If it's something that's embedded, that they just see they have a temper. They're triggered. They can't talk to their parents or, their spouses or friends without having some kind of a confrontation. So that's something to think about. It talks about the second part of this sentence, "But he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly." So if you're hasty of spirit, what is that? It means you're impatient, right? If you're trigger happy in your spirit, you will, it's an exaltation of folly. What's folly? It's foolish behavior. It's foolish behavior, that's sinful behavior. So you can do something rash. When you do something rash, it means that you sin, or you could cause someone else to sin. So you could cause someone else to sin because of your short fuse and impatience. So patience is something definitely to take very, very seriously, and to master that. There's a proverb that talks about people who are quick-tempered. It's like a city that's broken in, and so you don't want to have that as a weakness in your character as a Christian. You really want to develop that fruit and to grow in it, because from that, then you're able to, everything else hangs, right? Because you're long suffering, you're able to persevere to the point of overcoming. When you're quick tempered and short fused and impatient, it's harder. I find people like that can't wait for anything. They want everything now. They want it fast. They take shortcuts. And so you might see it in this small area with conversations and temper, but it spills over in the broader context of their life. You know, they are the type who would want to do binge fasts, you know, because they don't want to take the time, not binge fast, binge diets, because they don't want to take the time and the process to eat healthily and to exercise and to get down to the weight. Maybe getting on an eating plan that you can handle, but being consistent. They don't want to do that, so they go on take drugs or pills or do surgeries, but don't deal with the underlying issue because of that same impatience, you know. And I know that's just one example, but that it's a good example, because you not only with things like that, you see it in other areas of life, career paths, people who want quick get rich quick schemes, and you know, trying to see how I can how to take shortcuts to make a quick buck or to make a lot of money, but not really wanting to take the time to go through the process to get to whatever you're trying to achieve. And all of that comes back to that. You will see it when you deal with that person, quick-tempered, triggered, not patient. And if it's something that they don't like, you know, just no tolerance. And so definitely, if that is you, right, the way to deal with this, first of all, you need to be in the Word, but start praying and fasting. You don't have to fast all food, but fast something, and just really focus in on bringing this before the Lord and praying through it so that you can overcome, because it will bring great testimony and witness when people see that changing, that fruit. Those people who have been interacting with you and you've been quick-tempered and trigger happy, to be able to have the same types of conversation with you and to hear the humility, to see it, you know, and to see the patience and the love, it's going to bring good witness to the Lord as well. Another thing I see with impatience, on the underlying reason for it, is pride. You know, it's that self-exaltation, putting self above others. Because if we put others above ourselves, we're going to be patient, because we're going to be thinking of their needs, their feelings. And so to overcome impatience, right, consider the other person's feelings above your own. Look at them and see that this is a child of God, and consider who has feelings, who has emotions, who can be wounded, who is impacted by you, and view them from that lens. It will enable you to have more compassion and empathy, so that you can have, maybe an uncomfortable conversation, or a conversation that might be stepping on areas of you that you feel uncomfortable with, but you're having compassion on them, you're having mercy on them. And sometimes it means just being very slow to anger, or being very slow to respond, quick to listen, slow to speak, and being very brief in those responses. If you're finding that you're struggling in the moment, maybe keep the responses at a minimal, but keep it, polite, just really doing more listening than talking. Those are some practicals that could, help with something like that. At least that's what I see, and that's my analysis of it. We've all been in conversations whereby, we're trying to get, express ourselves or make ourselves clear, not wanting to be misunderstood. And sometimes, it's pretty much okay to, wait and speak when it's your turn to speak, without cutting other people off, or at least trying your best to do that. So beloved, that is it from me. I hope this is helpful in a practical sense. I think this example is kind of more contemporary, most people are going to go through something like this, right? In some small way or in some big way with the people that they interact with daily. Have a great day. All right, we'll pick up again tomorrow. Bye-bye.